Hello, people, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for round 3, episode 3. This is Creative Curiosity. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Louie Themistokleous. This is my lovely co-host.
Louie Themistokleous.
Wow, amazing name.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
it's long, but it's nice.
I love it.
I keep saying that in every episode, but yeah, I do really like my name. I think it's a cool name.
I do too.
Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
It's
Oh,
really
you like it?
unique.
It's nice.
Wait,
yeah.
I think. Do you have it?
Yeah.
So you guys have the same name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same surname.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
It's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Wow.
It's cool.
Anyway,
Seen you
guys.
before anyway.
Great
I think
start.
I've seen you before, dude. You look familiar. Familiar.
Oh,
look
yeah,
familiar.
nice. Familiar.
Familiar.
4 million.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Tim.
For those who don't know who we are. Oh, voice crack
wow.
there. I
Voice
love
crack,
that.
that was cute.
It's been
That was
nerves
very
kicking
nice
in
to
already.
hear.
I'm actually so nervous. Holy shit. Anyway, for those who don't know who we are, this podcast, basically we're all just these lovely creators, and we're curious about the world and just life in general, and everything in between. And this podcast is all about just discussing those thoughts, opinions about the creative world. And we try to have a guest on week in, week out, but this week, we do, but we don't. It's not a guest-driven episode today. We've got a special one for you all, but we do have Louie joining us again on the couch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
This is very exciting. I'm back again.
Back again.
Back again by popular
Like your-
demand. The fans were just
Popular
like,
demand?
the
Oh.
fans were just like, man, this guy was insanely good.
I mean,
so
it's
they
not surprising, to be honest. with
Yeah,
you.
look, I was
'Cause I reckon I
surprised.
smashed it.
When the fans started DMing us on the Creative Curiosity Instagram, if you haven't followed that by now, please follow. They were just, we were inundated with inboxes and DMs, Louis, because people were just blown away by your presence. So, you got anything to say to those fans?
Look, I'm not surprised, so that's pretty much it. That's
Whoa,
my comment.
Whoa, man.
Yep,
That was a bit
confidence.
I do like that.
Comes
I like
with
the confidence. Yeah.
You
Correct.
have to. You have to be confident.
That's, whoa. I just learned something. Thanks, man. I just learned something.
Yeah.
No, but in all
so-
seriousness, it's good to have you back. And as we said, I think in
Thanks.
episode 1, you'll probably be a pretty reoccurring guest, I would assume.
Yeah.
As
Definitely.
we obviously do share similar creative
Yes.
beliefs and things like that.
And
But
also,
yeah.
the podcast is in the house I live in. So
Oh,
well,
wow.
it's pretty much shot in the house I live in. So yeah.
Ooh, okay, boss.
Okay.
Boss number
So
2.
I think,
boss
I think
number
because
1,
you
boss
said
number
you might see me more than usual. That's why I said that.
I mean, it makes sense, Louis, of
Yeah.
course. I know what you're trying to say. But yeah, we're back and we're excited. As Timmy did mention, we're here to sort of disperse a bit of what we know through a lot of exciting and engaging things that we like and we're interested in, and just to talk about it and give ourselves a little bit of a platform. Because, we might not know everything, but I think we know a little bit about the art form, specifically films, as we're all pretty well versed in very many genres and, very many years of watching. So we just try to bring what we know, and, it might resonate, it might not, but it resonates for us, and that's what's important, I think. So
I couldn't have said that any better.
thanks, man.
Wow.
Beautifully said, Anthony.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Getting stuck into the episode. Today we're doing a bit of a movie film themed episode for you all. Today we will be giving a bit of a ranking, a top 10 if you will, of films that we watched last year, obviously during our, COVID and lockdown and things like that. We had a lot of spare time on our hands, a lot of lonely nights at home,
Wait, before we continue, can you just quickly touch on that marathon you did? How long was that?
Yes. So I think I spoke about this in the other episode, but we did. I did a marathon a lot of time to myself. So I did a marathon of about, I think it was 100 films in a row. So one film each day, one after the other. 100 days in a row.
Did you need therapy after that, man? Like
Pretty much.
you must have needed a full-blown therapist to get you out of that, man.
It was actually super intense. Just it's emotionally heavy as well. Like every single night, turning on a film, you have to be really in the mood for it. But I stuck it out because my watch list was just building and growing, and I had all these films I hadn't seen, and it was just I had to get stuck into it.
Were there days where you didn't want to watch a film?
Oh, 100%. It's weird because I was forcing myself a little bit at times. Just
Oh my
for
God.
for what reason?
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I committed to this idea. I committed to it. No, I had
so
to.
it wasn't
I had
even
to
genuine.
deliver.
It wasn't even genuine.
It was.
Come on, man.
I
Stop
had,
lying to us.
Man.
Sorry, Tim. But no, in all seriousness, that's a pretty accomplishment. Hey, I'm a
That's-
linguist.
English is good.
Hey,
Very
English is
good
my
English.
first language.
Very good.
That's
look,
a pretty
look.
amazing
Another reason
feat.
why is because like creatively, I hit a bit of a lull. So when I writer's block, if you say, I mean,
Yeah.
not specifically writing, but and yeah, and I feel like when I get to that point, watching things is how I get out of that. To generate new ideas or thoughts or whatever. Just spark new,
impressive. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
new things. So I
I
feel
feel
like a marathon was much needed. Maybe I went a bit too longer than I should have, but I felt like it was more beneficial than
Impressive.
not.
Yeah,
So,
because I think when you watch films, that's when you kind of get ideas.
Yeah,
Well, if you want to make a film,
for sure.
that's what sparks the ideas. Well,
Yeah.
for me anyway.
You need to.
I think you can get ideas from anywhere, like just from your life experience. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
it definitely helps. Yeah.
Awesome. No, I just wanted to quickly touch with that because I thought that was a pretty, like I said, amazing feat. It's a long time to watch. It's like almost a third of a year. It's pretty crazy.
It
I
is
know.
It's crazy.
impressive.
Impressive.
Thanks, guys.
So are we we're going through we'll go 10 to 6 or 10 to 3, right? We said, right?
So you got it both wrong both times.
Oh my
but-
God.
But that's okay.
Hey, that's how prepared I am. There you go.
We'll go 10 to 4.
Preparation.
10 to
10 to
4.
4.
10 to
Yeah.
4.
So we'll all go around the room. We'll list out our top 10 to 4 films that we saw last year, 2020. Not 2020 releases as such, but just ones that we watched. And then, yeah, so we'll go through that. And then we'll break down the top 3 for each of us as well, which is exciting. I don't know how you feel about rankings, but I always get major anxiety.
We love rankings.
Like we do, but, oh, man,
It's
it's
like
challenging.
Every
It's tough.
year, Louie and I just like watch countless videos of album and single ratings as well as movie ratings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we just sit there hinging when our like favorite record or movie comes first,
Yeah.
we start celebrating. Do you celebrate?
I would say celebrate, but it's a nice feeling.
It's a nice feeling.
But yeah, like when you watch it, it's fine. But when you make it yourself, it's
Mm.
quite stressful.
Yeah.
So,
Like we were just doing it before writing it up, and I was just like, man, I'm getting anxiety.
because especially
Yeah.
with film, because it's like some people say might not be the best movies, but they're your favorite movies. So it's a bit of an interesting kind of
Yeah, it's
debate
interesting to
whether-
sort of what you are, how you critique it.
Yeah.
Are we doing it basically on the film itself, or maybe the experience is included in that too? Like some films maybe not as good as others, but just the experience of maybe watching it in a cinema, or maybe just the memory of it.
yeah.
Can
Or like
be-
you might
can bump-
capture a moment in your life.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
can bump it up the order. So it's a challenging one, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if like even with awards and stuff, like is that really necessary or important? I don't know, especially with film because people have different tastes. Like, but you can objectively say that
Of
one
course.
film can be better than
Like
the
we're
other.
talking movies like Godfather. You look
Yeah.
at every publication that's objectively top 5, top 10 in every single thing. Like I think there is some objectivity to it in some way, right? Would you agree?
Yeah,
Like there is some objectivity to some movies, like Sharknado. Objectively,
great film, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good
Look,
for it's
yeah,
like
you just get the boys
it's
around.
such a
and just
parody
watch
that it's actually good.
Sharknado.
It's got like a cult following, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
online.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it just does. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think there is some objective viewpoints as to what's good and bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Louis, as the guest today,
Yes.
you're up first, I reckon.
Ooh, okay.
So
Pressure's on.
We'll go your 10 to 4.
10
Just
to
smash it out,
4,
and
okay.
any thoughts or opinions we'll pipe in. That's for sure.
All right, cool. Let me just get this right first in my head. Okay, yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah. So
So, number 10, we have Control,
Mm-hmm.
which is a movie about Ian Curtis and Joy Division.
Ooh, good
Um,
one.
Then we have Rider,
Mm-hmm.
The Rider, sorry.
Closure. Is that closure?
Not writer as in like rider. So if you're writing something, like this guy rides a horse in the film.
Okay.
So it's the same director as
Nomadland, right?
Nomadland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Another round is, what am I up to?
8.
8. And then we've got Baby Teeth,
Number 7.
Loved it.
Mm.
Awesome.
number 7.
Okay.
And then we've got Waves, number 6. Lighthouse, number 5.
What a list.
And and then I had, so because I had like 3 films from one director, Tarkovsky, I could only really include one in the top 3 because I didn't want to have the same
Hey
director.
man, don't feel pressured.
No, I just thought this was a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So then I had Nostalgia and Solaris, which is 2 films, but I'd put Solaris in front of Nostalgia
Yep.
as number 4.
Mm. Wow.
So that's my
Ooh.
What a
10
list.
to 4.
Very eclectic.
List.
What a range.
I know.
I know. That's why it's so hard because all these movies are very, very different.
Wow.
Heard a lot of movies that I loved in there too.
Look, I haven't seen most of those.
You haven't seen most of those, okay?
Yeah.
Very good films.
Mm.
I was like, yeah.
Even
sort
though
of-
you watched 100 last year.
Yeah, look. I
None
don't
of these
know.
are in your
Hey, that's the beauty of film. It's subjective. We spoke about it earlier.
Sorry, mate.
He likes different things to you,
Sorry.
and that's fine. Stop trying to control the way he thinks, Louis. Oh my
Jesus,
God.
Come on, Louis.
I know, you're
Come
better
on,
than
This
that.
is,
You're bum-
who's
yeah.
the dictator here? Is it Timmy or you?
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe I'm trying
This
to
is
take
very-
reins.
this is yeah.
I'm self-conscious about how little I do on the podcast because Timmy does it all. So like I need to try and
okay.
impose myself to the fans and the audience. So this is my time.
Wow.
I like that.
Bit of
You
insight.
I
like
admire
it?
that. I admire
Thanks.
that. You know
Thanks,
what?
Tim.
It takes pressure off me. as well.
Exactly. I know
Ah,
because
yeah,
you do
there go.
everything.
That's
so.
why you guys work so well together.
Oh
Love
really?
it.
We
Yeah.
work well. Thanks, man.
That's good hearing that from an
It is,
outsider.
yeah,
you
from
know?
an
It's
outsider.
You guys
reassuring.
do.
But
It's great chemistry
Um,
there.
Control. I love Control. We watched that black and white movie, the story of Ian Curtis, and that really got us into like the whole new wave vibe. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that was the point where we started listening to a lot of like new wave and from the 80s and stuff, like Joy Division and New Order,
Mm.
all those types of bands,
It
and that
was-
was a good, interesting story.
Yeah. And it was
Um,
more about the person than like the music and stuff,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool. More like character study.
Yeah.
It was well done, well shot, I thought.
Yes, it
Mm.
was. Very well shot. You guys have watched Waves, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've all seen Waves.
We've all seen
Thoughts on that?
Waves.
I loved Waves so much. Thought it was incredible.
Yeah, look, it was very good. I've been up and down on it. Very
Yeah.
mixed feelings. It's really, for those who haven't seen it, I won't get deep into spoilers, but it's the structure of it is really interesting
Yeah.
because there's sort of all these characters and their connections, and yet so we start off with a couple and then halfway through it just splits and focuses on another couple, like for splitting half of the film. So it's quite jarring and
No
I
wave
don't know.
slander. Stop. No wave slander.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, you can't have an opinion.
Don't have opinions, Tim. We have to
Sorry
all
about
agree.
that.
Come on, it's got to be collective.
No, but
I
I
get what he's
that.
saying.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's not very
Say
what's
linear.
the word? Yeah,
like
I
linear
guess.
in a way.
Yeah, it's very
What
unconventional.
would your
That
sort of
structure.
take be on that as someone who, because I know you really liked it, yeah?
Yeah, I really liked it because I kind of like something that's different and unconventional, non-linear.
Yeah.
So I thought, even though it felt like two different movies, because like, was it?
It
two
was
halves? Almost
it
like
was
two
very
halves.
separate. I mean, they did have relation, but it was very separate.
Yeah. It was very separate, but there was still like that connection because it was about that second half was about that girl and
Yeah.
you know how her life changed because of the circumstances of what happened
Mm.
with her family, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like just knowing how much it affects your family members, which in that like in the movie it's pretty serious what happens, and then she has to kind of like live with that, which is pretty crazy.
Mm.
So I don't know, I liked it.
Great choice.
Yep.
I like
Good.
that.
Tim,
Perfect.
anything else?
Any other thoughts?
Any other
man?
names come up to you in that top
So I had
top 6?
Yeah. So there's Control, The Rider, Another Round, Waves, Lighthouse, Baby Teeth, Solaris.
Look, I'll just point
We
out
had to go there.
the
We had to go. The
lighthouse
Lighthouse.
is just absolutely ridiculously
Mm,
good. If you have
so
not seen
good.
that, ladies and gentlemen, listeners of the pod, definitely
Please
watch
do,
that.
guys.
It is I think it's streaming on Amazon Prime. Get on that. No plug.
It's
Okay.
we've plugged Amazon Prime in every
Look,
episode.
we have.
Let's keep it
They
going.
just
I
keep
think
on-
really
it's a bit of a meme. Let's keep it going.
Look, they just keep on delivering.
Let's
it.
keep on
They've got all the
delivering.
classics
Everyone
on
probably
there.
thinks they're sponsoring you. But if you
Hey,
keep
we'll
trying,
have,
they
you know,
might.
we have to. I reckon we
Yeah.
should contact them for
Yeah,
sure. They'd
we
be
haven't got
down.
sponsors yet, but we will soon. Trust
We
me,
will.
fans. when we make it, we'll get sponsors.
Trust
When
me,
we-
it's
when
very
we make
important.
No, but the Lighthouse, wow. May I just say, like, the performances,
Oh,
underrated.
let's
like,
not even go there.
my God, Willem Dafoe and
Oh,
Robert
wow.
Pattinson again star in this. Two lighthouse keepers, black and white film, grungy, intense.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude. Willem Dafoe literally is an 1800s fisherman dude that I'm just like, he actually existed.
So
Like, he's
believable.
not even Willem Dafoe in that movie.
I know.
He
Yeah.
literally becomes that guy.
He's insane. What an actor. He seriously is an amazing actor.
Mm.
And the film's very, like, it's very interesting and unique. Like,
Robert
first time
Eggers is a
watching
strange
it,
director.
I was like, what happened? Because I was a bit confused, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But after doing a bit more research on it,
Mm.
I kind of respected it a lot more than, first watch. Because the story is very odd. When
Very
you think
odd.
about it.
Yeah.
I think it's like a bit about mythology and
There was a lot of that
Greek
Greek mythology
history.
coming up, but that guy carrying the rock up or something
Yeah.
like that, and then like he sees the light and it comes back down. So there's a lot of those like sort of mythological undertones.
Yeah, I think under the layer of
Yeah.
you know, the main kind of story, which is them trying to, or no, Robert Pattinson's trying to leave. There's probably deeper meanings to it, which is
Mm.
pretty
Also got
interesting.
like tones of like masculinity and stuff. Like they're always trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
Like even sort of like there was almost some sort of like this weird romance they had, or like this weird tension, you know, which I thought was interesting as well.
Yeah,
But no, great film, really good
great
film.
film.
I didn't really like The Witch though. Remember we watched his same director, Robert
Yeah,
Eggers.
I wasn't a fan of that.
I wasn't a
either.
huge fan of The Witch.
Yeah,
The atmosphere was interesting, but I remember watching it. There was no real payoff.
nah, it was very slow.
Yeah, it was very eerie.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a whole lot was going on. Like there wasn't a big intense like build up as well. It was just sort of plodding along. Like
yeah,
we follow the girl in this interesting setting, and yeah, you're right. It doesn't really pay off
Yeah.
towards the end. I feel like it just fizzles out, and yeah, no real effect. I feel like I didn't connect to it much.
yeah. I'd love to watch it again.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
I feel like it's
different.
one of those movies I'd like to watch again. I think at
Mm.
the time I wasn't like as focused as I probably could have been with.
What's
film.
that new one? He's got The Northman or something. Is that The
Yeah,
Northman?
I
Something
think-
like
I believe
that.
so. Yeah,
It's
new
another
one coming
period
out
piece,
soon.
which is cool.
Yeah.
He loves a period piece. Robert
does.
Eggers. It's like all three he's made, or maybe he's got some other pieces, but I know the last three he's made have been all like period pieces,
Yeah,
which has been really cool. I love a period piece.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're fun.
They're cool, especially when the setting and the set design's really cool, or like done well.
And it aids the film. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alrighty, I'll crack on to
Are you
mine.
next? Yep.
Yeah, I want to go
for it.
next because I want to talk about my movies because I reckon I've got better taste.
All right, cool.
So we'll go 10 to 4. 10 to 4.
standard call from Anthony Themistokleous.
Unbelievable.
Standard call, I reckon. Hey, standard
He
call,
just
I
loves
reckon.
himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Can I just
Very
speak without being
self-confident.
scrutinized and
Good.
vilified,
Good on
guys?
ya.
Sorry.
Please.
Go,
Goodness.
Go.
All right, number 10. Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Mhm.
That was cool. Number 9, Heathers.
Oh,
That strange
yes.
80s.
Heathers. Good
Thought
one.
to
That's a
be
good
rom-com
choice.
/ weird slasher. Not really a slasher, but sort of in that vein.
yeah.
Number 8, we had Art of Self-Defense. Number 7, Lighthouse. Yep. Number things. So I messed that up. So I think I gave the movie away. Number things. I'm thinking of ending things. Number 6. Sorry.
Okay.
Number 5 was. Oh man, I wanted to put this higher, but I did. I realized The Mirror by Tarkovsky. So I was in a massive. We were in a massive Tarkovsky hole last year, just watching all these Tarkovsky slow burners, which I loved. But anyway, that's 5. And number 4 was The Best of Youth. So that was that 6-hour Italian journey that we'll probably touch on a bit later, I think, a bit longer. And that's pretty much it. So they're my top
Nice.
6 at the moment.
Very interesting
7,
list.
7, yeah. Yeah. Anything pop out for you guys?
Anything pop out?
About.
I watched The Art of Self-Defense just recently. Man, underrated for sure.
Such a good movie.
I
Amazing.
love
So
those
good.
smaller budget,
Yeah.
you know, non-blockbuster type films that just deliver. Like it was really, really compelling. Great storyline, great acting. Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse's a gun. We love Jesse.
Superstar.
But
Gun.
yeah, it was like a simple story, nothing too complex. But maybe give a quick rundown of the plot.
Yeah,
just,
so
for those
basically it's about
listeners.
this guy who sort of goes into a dojo, which is just funny. Like, it's got this weird sort of, it's almost like a parody in a way at the start. You know,
Yes.
he's trying to get a bit more masculine, a bit more strong. And he goes into this dojo and he sort of gets a bit stronger and, you know, and it the way it builds into this really strange movie about like, I don't know, toxic masculinity in a way, but the way he gets caught up in the underworld through like just, you know, innocently going to this dojo, and then like you see the development of his character becoming more and more sort of sinister, and there's this real big sort of climax towards sort of the latter half of the movie. But I just love the way the movie made me feel. So I'm huge about like feeling in movies, and if I'm feeling something, if I'm uncomfortable, if I'm scared, if I'm emotional, if I'm, you know, anything, whatever it is, I love the movie for that. And I think it did that for me. Really uncomfortable and really odd and strange. And as you said, really low-key indie. I think it was such a good, interesting watch. And I'd love to rewatch it again, and I probably need to. You liked it as well, yeah?
Yeah, I liked it. I just don't like the quirkiness of it.
Yeah.
It's one of those like really quirky films.
I feel like Jesse Eisenberg brings that anyway.
Yeah.
Just the way.
He's kind of deadpan
Yes.
kind of characters that he usually plays are just so good. Like he does it so well. And yeah, so I think there's definitely an engagement and emotion that you feel in the film. So yeah, I thought it was unique, and I like that.
Definitely unique. Very, like I said, you're not expect it to go the way it went.
Nah,
Started off very sort of conventional, and then just
it's one
just
of those.
went for it, you know?
Yeah, you think you know what it's going to be about, how it's going to pan out, but it kind of just doesn't do that.
Ballsy
Which kind
director.
of makes your
Yeah.
experience a lot better with, watching the film.
It's like you don't want to know what's coming,
Yeah.
in a way. Well, sometimes you do, but I think in that movie it worked.
Yeah. Quick plug again, Amazon Prime if you want to watch it.
There you go.
It's
Love
two
that.
in a row. We're really trying to get
So
sponsored. We need some money. We're
You
struggling.
need to send him like a letter or something.
Send them a letter. Hey, we sponsored you
An
3
email,
We plugged
not
you
a
3
letter, what
times in our
yours is.
podcast, please.
Jesus. Wait, let's have a look. You got the list there, yeah?
Yeah. Anything else? So we've got artists after scent, Heathers,
Heathers, yeah.
Heathers.
ending things.
Yeah, this is fun.
Heathers
And
is-
another one that kind of takes a turn as
Oh
well.
my
You
God.
don't expect
Winona
it.
Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
And
Great.
prime Christian Slater looked like an absolute stud.
Oh.
That dude was awesome back in the day. I
Yeah.
never realized before I started making. He went on a tear. I think in like 2010 to like 2019 or something, just making weird movies.
Yeah.
Those low budget C graders. You remember those ones that Nicolas Cage just started doing? But I didn't realize it was quite compelling back in the day. He had a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
He sort of had it going, and I thought that was a really interesting one.
Yeah.
I think we all enjoyed that as well.
That film took a really dark turn, which I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was going to be one of those 80s teenager high school college
Yeah, I
style flicks, but then it just took this random ass turn, which I'm like, shit, he's doing something different
It was
here.
random
I
as.
know, really crazy, but
was
I
insane.
loved it.
Yeah, it was really good.
We loved it.
Anything else?
We also have the best of youth. I'm not sure if that's on your lists. Maybe
Haven't seen that one.
ending things. Maybe on some people's lists as well.
Very quirky
Yep.
Netflix release, which I'm sure I think a lot of people watch that. To be
Yeah.
honest,
A lot of
I'm
people
thinking
watch
of
that.
anything.
If that's in anyone's top 3, we'll leave it. Is it
Charlie-
anyone's
Charlie
top
I
3?
think if anyone's got a,
You got any top 3?
well, like, I don't want to spoil
Ooh.
anything.
Oh,
Don't ask me
my
now.
God.
All right, maybe we'll just go
Is this how
straight
this
to.
works?
Why are you ruining it for us?
Oh,
Jeez
Last Black
Louise.
Man in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I've watched that.
I've been meaning to watch that.
Really interesting film. Man, the film style was so odd.
Yeah,
Remember?
but really cool.
Really
I thought.
cool. Really interesting.
It had like this really like classy feel to it.
Really classy.
Although kind of, what's the word? Like,
was almost
urban,
magic-
almost
yeah,
urban,
yeah.
but like classy at the same time.
It felt like almost like a magical sort of fantasy land
Yeah,
in
it
the
didn't
way it
feel
was
real
shot,
in
even
a
the
way.
color palette and stuff, which is cool. And I loved that one character, not the main character, his mate, who was like that.
Oh,
He was like trying
yeah.
to make plays and stuff, and like no one was going to his plays, and then he got like. So I thought it was nice in the way that it showed how I think sometimes. Not African Americans are meant to be sort of categorized in a specific box, and this guy was very sort of artistic and very eccentric in a way. The character, which I felt was really interesting and compelling, because I guess that's not really a trope that sort of people in that sort of race are labeled in or boxed in.
Yeah,
So I really resonated with a character like that who was a bit more maybe free and open-minded in the way he wanted to
Yeah.
approach things, which was interesting because there was a lot of that balance, because there was a lot of those like sort of the guys in the hood, and he was there as well. So it was nice to see that sort of balance of what his place was meant to be like, but what he was actually doing. So like identity and place, I thought came through with that character, which I thought was really interesting and resonated well.
beautiful. Love that little review.
Well said.
Very well said, Anthony.
You guys like that?
Yeah, that was good.
Sick, man. That's my goal, to make people happy and stuff. I mean, not happy, but like, I don't know what my goal is. Go Tim.
Ah, yes, true.
Sorry.
It's another podcast, yeah.
It's another, what are our goals?
That's another
Yeah.
episode.
What are your goals in 2021? Whatever it is, you can do it.
Thanks, man.
You can achieve it.
This is so inspiring.
Don't be so negative.
I'm not. What?
Sorry, Timmy.
All right. So yeah, during my lockdown watch, there were all films. I tried to watch films I hadn't seen before, so no repeats. And if I did leave them out of the top.
Ooh, edgy.
So
What an
I wanted-
edgelord. Whoa.
Nah, hey, I wanted, fresh films. Come on.
I respect.
Okay. So number 10, I've got Sing Street.
Ooh.
Number
loved
9, Cold War.
Ooh.
Number 8, Being John Malkovich.
Ooh.
Number 7, Columbus. Haven't seen that.
I haven't seen
I've
that.
seen
I know
Columbus.
this
You
scene.
have?
Yeah.
Number 6, Place Beyond the
Oh,
Pines.
yes.
Yes.
Anything Derek and Ryan combination, yes.
Yes. Number 5, Into the Wild.
Yes.
Number 4, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, my. Dude, that is a good
I
list.
think I've seen pretty much all of them.
You've seen all of them.
Look,
probably.
they're all classics.
Yeah,
and they've all been
all
in the
classics.
wash. Fuck, don't look.
Oh, I nearly got a.
I nearly got a win.
Hey, I nearly got a list
Ooh.
of. The dictator nearly showed me his list. Hey, dictator.
Hey,
Hey,
that's 3 episodes in a row, man.
Oh
3.
my gosh.
Sorry.
This is unbelievable.
This
This
is
is discrimination. Anyway, so
Some
guys,
good-
any thoughts on those films that I just listed there?
Obviously, we can't go through all of them. But
Look, may I
For a
just
couple.
point
maybe we
out?
could choose maybe one each from that.
I'll just point out before you start. I really love films that have a focus on singing, like music related. I don't know why. Like,
La La Land.
look, I reckon we're gonna save an episode just for that.
Just 45 minutes.
Look,
of pure La
45
La Land
minutes of
talk.
pure
Just,
La La Land.
yeah.
The greatest
Look,
movie.
don't get into it, okay?
Nah, we won't.
Look, we're saving it, ladies and gentlemen,
keen for that
of
one.
listeners of the pod. We're saving
if I'm
that.
invited,
So,
I'm keen for that one.
oh yeah, oh for sure. Don't worry,
Sure,
get ready
invited.
for that one.
You're always invited.
But,
Stop with that negativity.
But yeah, my 10 and 9,
Let's
Sing
see.
Street and Cold War, both music related, both very different, that's for sure.
Beautiful
Yeah.
films.
But there's something about music and film that I feel like, I don't know, it's super inspiring.
Mm.
It just feels good, gets you going. I don't know, I feel much more, I don't know, there's a weird connection.
It's like
that I
a
get.
form of real
Interesting.
engagement for you.
Yeah,
You really sort of
exactly.
resonate.
Yeah, 100%. Resonate.
Resonate. I know it's resonate. Relax. If anyone's watching trying to correct my English, it's a joke. Okay.
What's the joke? What's the origin?
Like
What's
I've
yeah,
heard
where'd
people
that
say
come from?
resonate before when they're trying to say
Ah.
resonate.
Mm.
And
it's
it's
a
just
word
like-
that people really
Yeah, it's
really
like definitely and defiantly. Sometimes guys, I'm going to say defiantly, but it's actually a joke because it's a play on the word definitely, which I know how to say. But people usually spell it defiantly or, resonate. It's just like, it's resonate. Sorry.
That was
Tangent.
really interesting.
Sorry.
That's finally very interesting.
Yeah. So
want to-
any thoughts?
Look, I want to go to Into the Wild.
Yes.
Now, that score, I've been in love with that score for years.
Eddie Vedder,
Eddie Vedder,
just beautiful. That voice.
Society. I mean, what's left to be said about that story about Christopher McCandless? Is he a martyr?
Is he
Not really a martyr. Is he a villain or is he a hero? It's all up to
I don't
debate.
think he's either.
He's
Personally,
neither, yeah. But a lot of it was like sort of anti-establishment, his sort of whole approach, which was vain coming from someone who had a really sort of affluent upbringing in a way. So I get that. But the film is beautiful, right? It's beautiful. And the whole Thankyou trail
yeah.
and the bus that got taken away. So, it was always my dream to go there. We used to speak about like, let's trail 15 hours in Alaska and go to the bus, but now the bus is gone. So the film though, I thought was really compelling.
It's definitely true.
Defiantly true. See,
Yeah.
what you love it?
Yeah, look, the reason why it's so high up on the list because I don't know, me, I'm sort of like a bit of a city slicker guy, growing up, high rises all around, and that's why I feel like
get it.
hey man, I'm just sharing a personal story here. Maybe they discriminate. Jesus Christ, just because you live in the burbs, come
I
on.
know. We
Wow.
get it. Go.
But yeah, I feel like I really got into this one because it took me out of that world and I was just invested in this journey that this character had, or this individual. And yeah, I was really invested in just the wilderness and he's just disconnected from, everyday life. And, I admired that. And definitely it made me think like, shit, I'd love to, get out more, I guess. Or,
Be in nature.
be in nature,
Yeah,
embrace the moment every single day, every single minute. And just, I really love that side of things. That's why I felt like I really connected to it because I could sort of relate and put myself in his shoes.
Get it. Because
definitely.
sometimes we forget about
Exactly.
doing those things like hikes or being in nature.
Yeah.
Because you just get stuck in, if you're working every day or doing something every day, you kind of just forget about that side of, life.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's quite nice, yeah, when you
It is
do
nice.
go on hikes or go and travel and, it's very nice.
It's rewarding, I think,
story about survival as well.
for sure. And
Well,
trying to
yeah.
live. The Earth is the only, I guess, non-man-made structure here for us. It was here when we were here. And it's such a beautiful thing to connect to it. And that's what the movie, I think, is trying to say,
Yeah.
Obviously, there has to be some things that you need to probably do better. And I think a character in the movie should have made a few better decisions.
Yes.
Being a
of
bit
course.
sort of vain and a bit
selfish.
in
Yeah.
a way. But, I guess that's the unforgiving nature of unforgiving nature of nature. Unforgiving nature of sort of being in the wilderness is it's unforgiving. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is for a reason.
Mm.
It's sink or swim. It's fight or flight. And every single day there's millions of different things happening in terms of animals killing each other, this and that. So, you know, I think the character felt that.
Yeah.
You know, felt the wrath of what nature can bring as well, in a beauty, but also in
Harsh reality.
the harsh
type.
reality of it too, which was interesting.
Mm.
Awesome.
Any other thoughts, guys?
He had Pines, Louie. He had Columbus. He had Cold War, Malkovich, and Sing Street, and Harry Met Sally.
And Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
Greatest rom-com out there, that's for sure.
When
I
Harry
don't
Met
think
Sally
that's
something-
unplayable.
Well, we watched that during lockdown as well, but it didn't make the list. However, it's a very good film.
Incredible.
I really liked
Special
it.
mention. Special
Yeah,
consideration.
it's
That's
really, really good. Because it is, like, you kind of know what's going to happen. But I do really like the characters because they're quite mature about it. You know, they become friends, and even though they kind of have feelings for each other, they don't really get together. So I think at times I was questioning, you know, are they going to get together or not? Spoilers, but yeah, they do.
What's
So,
the
yeah.
30-year-old spoiler? Was that 25? I don't know how the movie is, about
Hey.
30, 40 years.
And, you know, I only watched Godfather like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I
so
know, true.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's
true.
a pretty
Yeah.
old film. So yeah, no, I really liked it. I think it's got a lot of heart in it. Yeah, I don't know, I
Look-
like the characters.
Yeah, look, rom-coms are a hard one because they are very similar in ways. The only real difference is just like the characters and maybe their background story, but they always somehow end up together. But yeah, I feel like this one stood out for me because it was just, I don't know, I enjoyed the characters and just the energy that they brought. They had a really good connection, and you know, I was actually invested in their,
Yep.
you know, in what was going on. Whereas you're not just an outsider just watching. But
Exactly. I think that's a big part. Like,
yeah,
very important in rom-coms.
yeah,
If there's no chemistry between like the two main leads,
yeah,
then you're kind of
There's
out
no
of it, aren't
point.
you?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Need that
And I like how
chemistry.
mature, like I said, I think you said before, they're so mature, the characters.
Yeah.
Like, they don't take shit from each other. I like
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
And it's like, if you're going to act like an idiot, I'm not going to be with you. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect that. They weren't just doing it for the sake of doing it.
It wasn't like a fairy tale either. It was actually pretty grounded. It felt real
Yeah.
Definitely.
because rom-coms do take that sort of fantasy type
Yeah.
route, whereas this one, it felt real, which definitely that's why it's up there, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, perfect. So
Back to-
that's the 10 to 4. So now we'll go top threes. Louis,
So do I say my top three and then,
A little spiel, maybe?
should we
or
go?
just say three and then talk about it and then two? Or
What
should
do-
we
what
go?
do you reckon,
No,
Terry?
I reckon we should do 3, 3, 3, and then 2, 2, 2, 1, 1.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that works
Alright.
better.
Go.
Done.
All right. So my number 3 was Mirror by Tarkovsky.
Damn, I wanted
Which
to
was in your list,
Yeah.
but no, in the top 3. So yeah, because Anthony and I obviously live together,
Mhm.
so we watch most movies together.
Most,
Um,
yeah.
So Mirror is one we did watch together, and I think Mirror is my favorite Tarkovsky film that we've watched so far, because visually it is outstanding. Considering when the movie was made, I don't know exactly when.
70s, I think.
70s?
70s, yeah.
Okay. It was just a visually beautiful, and not only that, the visuals kind of tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the dialogue; it's more about the visual, beauty of it, and the storytelling is told through those images that the director puts together. And yeah, I think what's good about it is you kind of try and piece it together yourself. And that's what I love about this movie. It's not told to you. You know what I mean? You really have to think.
Yeah.
And it's a long one, but I don't know. I think when something's visually really nice, I'm really invested, but it obviously has to have a bit of weight behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Something can look good, but not really have, much to it. But I feel like this definitely has. And it was pretty cool to see like the history of, was it Italy?
No, that
No,
was
that was in
nostalgia.
Italy.
That was nostalgia.
That was nostalgia.
So it was like
Where
more
was-
this was more about sort of his like childhood and upbringing.
Yeah.
Told in sort of
So seeing the the history of his childhood.
his childhood.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's pretty odd, but it's cool.
Odd movie, very odd movie.
Yeah.
That burning scene, the colors,
Yeah.
the color palettes in his movies, man. I
Oh,
just
amazing.
They're just super saturated
super
and like,
I just can't even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that film was amazing to me as well. we were in a massive Tarkovsky hole, just watching Tarkovsky movies. And like you said, it was so cool to see the way he pieces together. It's almost like a diary of his life in these phases. And it's not very linear either. And I remember we're trying to piece a narrative. And I think it's hard to go into a Tarkovsky movie trying to piece together a linear narrative. It's not about that, you know. But yeah, that's a great pick. I love it so much. Such a good movie. You seen it?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Loved it?
It was really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Number 3, my turn.
Yep.
Your turn. Yep.
All right. Another Tarkovsky, we had Solaris as number 3. So this was probably
Ooh, wow.
interchangeable between The Mirror and Solaris because I love both equally.
Mm.
So Solaris, I was going into it expecting a 2001 Space Odyssey. I'd always seen comparisons to Tarkovsky and Kubrick, you know, some of the people's favorite directors. But coming out of it, it's not at all about space. You'd call it a sci-fi, but you'd more call it a character study. And you'd call it a sort of interesting take on relationships and how we view things in grief and the way the character processes his emotions and, you know, his disconnect from the world where he lives, I guess. And you just see the character go through this journey of, I don't know, he has to deal with this strange phenomena that he sort of loses someone, but they come back. And he's sort of so far away from Earth because they're in like this, they're trying to find this planet or something. I kind of don't remember exactly, but yeah, they're trying to find this planet in this weird way. And he sort of has to deal with the idea that he's lost his wife, but she sort of comes back and he sort of deals with this hologram or this sort of weird thing. And I just thought it was interesting in the way it talks about the way we view relationships and grief and how we move forward. Yeah, and I just thought it was really compelling. And the visual style of Tarkovsky really aided the movie as well. Some really beautiful shots. Again, those colors in the film were awesome. And I thought it was just really good. Yeah.
I agree.
I have not seen that.
You haven't seen
So
Solaris.
I can't
That's a
comment.
long one. That's one
Yeah.
of his longest. It's like 250.
I think, yeah, that's my favorite part when, like, he kind of is struggling because he's lost someone and they come back. So that's such an interesting, like, idea.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if that happened. That'd be so crazy. Then is that person kind of like the same as they used to be? Yeah, it's
I think
pretty
that's what
cool.
I was trying to say. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Which is pretty interesting.
Definitely. Because you prepare yourself for someone to go and then they come back and it's like, I've changed already.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Yeah,
right.
wow. Timmy.
Okay.
Beautiful. I need to look at my notes. Sorry.
Do we go?
One blank. Got too
Unprepared.
many fills.
Oh, gosh.
Number
Anticipation.
3, I have got the 2012 release, The Master.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Paul Thomas Anderson,
Master,
directed
PDA.
and written by PDA. Yep, the goat himself.
What do you say?
The goat himself.
The
Love
goat
it.
himself, Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah, where do I begin? Look, I'm just mind blank, so I'm just gonna read the plot because I wrote it down. But basically, so
Please,
Freddy's
feed
the
it
main
to us.
Freddy's the main character, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and basically he's a war, he's a war veteran, heavy drinker, volatile, and he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, and yeah, through struggling this, basically he stumbles upon this boat, essentially, where he finds this family, and on the ship his name is Lancaster Dodd, who's played by the
GOAT.
What's his
The
name?
man, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
sorry, I haven't watched this in a while,
R.I.P.
so that's why I'm a bit rusty on my notes. But yeah,
Actor.
so yeah, and he's like this leader of like this new religion, for people, post-war, I guess, and yeah, he's got this new religion, all this new belief system, I guess, and he takes Joaquin's character sort of under his wing and helps him to cope with these demons inside of him. Yes, and it's just a very raw. The acting is unbelievable, and we just sort of go through his journey and trying to, I guess, deal with these demons inside of his head, and it's just it's incredible, really.
Yeah, I've seen it about 3 or 4 times, and every time I watch it, I'm blown away.
Yeah,
The color palette again. I know I'm huge on
again,
color palettes.
visually stunning as
That's
well.
that scene
but-
with the waves and like you can see the ship in the waves. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I just love it. I love what it does for me. I love how it's like he helps him, but does he really help him, or is he just preying on him because he's emotionally vulnerable?
Yeah.
Because he's looking for something.
Yeah.
It's, I guess, that they feel avoided for each other, but do they really feel it, or is there an ulterior motive in a way? But yeah, I thought it was compelling as well.
No, I think it was great film. Good choice, Timmy.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that what I really liked was the character and the character study. So the character has so many layers,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole I don't know. I'm always a sucker for post-traumatic stress stories told through film, because you can just imagine how hard that would be, and how coming back to reality or from war, whatever it is,
Correct.
would be so challenging. So I think that's my favorite aspect of the film, or the character. But you're right, it does look beautiful.
Yep.
And it's really engaging. The dialogue's really good as well.
And this, I think it's a period piece as well. Yeah, it's it's the 50s, isn't it? I think it's 50s.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
it makes sense because that'd be after the 40s, which was when the
Yeah.
war was. So, yeah.
All right. So my number 2.
Yep.
Is I'm thinking of ending things.
Ooh, I knew this was
Very
going to be
high up
that's
in
why
the
I didn't
order.
go hard for
Wow.
it.
It's pretty high up, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think going into it, I wasn't expecting to like it too much just by watching the trailer.
Okay.
But I came out of it thinking, loving it, really. I think it's a really, really good film. And what I love about it is the ambiguity to it. And it's such a unique film in the way it's done. And I love that about it. What I like was you kind of think that the main character is this girl, who's the main lead. But it's actually a story told through the male main character, who's really struggling with life and is quite a lonely person. And so I love the way that, it's his thinking and kind of thinking back or how he wanted things to be. And the whole thinking of ending things relates to what he's going through in life. And he's thinking of ending his own life. And yeah, it's just, I didn't really know what was going on until you kind of get further down, the film. And it's not you don't know nothing by the end of it. You can there's definitely lots of clues there that makes you, put it all together and make sense of it. And just the start is so awesome when they're just driving in the car.
Yeah, the
There's a lot of
dialogue.
philosophy in it.
So much.
Beautiful
So much to
dialogue.
break
Typical
down.
Charlie Kaufman, by the
Yeah,
way.
Charlie Kaufman.
Haven't seen many of his films, by the way.
I've really seen the
You
other
haven't
one.
seen any of them?
Not really.
Look,
Don't
all
think
of
so.
his films are very similar. They're just they're conversationally heavy,
Yeah.
really unique thoughts and ideas, and again, even just the content is very I can't
It's
think of
heavy.
the
It's
word.
dense. It's very dense.
Very
Yeah.
dense, that's for sure.
I think the other one I watched was Anomalisa. That's another one he made.
Oh yeah, he's
That's the only
animated.
other one that I've
Yeah.
watched. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Don't think I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, but I didn't like it that much. Thought this was great.
What
Awesome.
connected to you?
With this,
Yeah, because it's very it's a very unique
I think what
storyline.
what I connected with was just the way the character was thinking and trying to like we all do this. We kind of just go back in time and kind of think of how things could have been different.
Mhm.
And I think this is what the character does.
Mm.
And so I don't know. I think that's what connected to me the most.
Yeah.
'Cause
How
I
we
think
can do
everyone
things
does that.
differently.
You
Of
could have
course,
done
we always.
differently.
I think people say live life with no regrets. I think that's a very
Yeah.
unhelpful way to view regret.
It's a
It's not even really regret. It's not bad to look at things.
Yeah.
To how to make them better for yourself, even though they've passed. There's nothing wrong with looking back.
no.
Sometimes.
It's a very sad film actually
Mm.
when you really think about it.
It is.
Deeply. Because
It's
this
a film
guy
about
is very
loneliness.
he's struggling. So yeah.
No, I
that's
love
my
that
number
one as well.
2.
Awesome. Nice work, Lou.
Beautiful.
Number 2 for me was, I think we spoke about it earlier, and there was slander towards it, so I got angry. Waves. Loved Waves. Now, Waves for me, we spoke about it before, so I won't go too long about it, but everything I loved about it was the feeling, the emotion. I was on an emotional roller coaster, feeling very many different sensations all over my human body that were just registering in very intense ways. And I thought the acting was really great. I thought the storyline was believable, and I thought the first half was just as good as the second half. And the music, some of
Great
my favorite
soundtrack.
musicians in there,
Yeah,
or
great
musicians that
soundtrack.
have really influenced the way you see the world and view, art as a whole. It's Kanye songs, Frank songs, Tyler songs, Tame Impala songs. I think
Wow.
there might have been some Animal Collective music in there as well. So just a lot of really interesting musical placements, and they were placed beautifully as well. And it might have been a bit derivative at times. I think like there's one scene where he like gets really angry, and I think they play the song "I Am a God." So like it is a bit on the nose sometimes the way they use their music, but it doesn't really detract for me how awesome it was used throughout the film. But yeah, that was Me Waves number 2.
Love that. Great film.
Thank you.
My number 2, another Charlie Kaufman film, 2008 release,
Whoa.
called Synecdoche, New York.
Heard of that
Now,
one.
this
Not watched
film,
it.
look, I can't even put into words to describe it. Like, the general plot is that, again, Philip Seymour Hoffman is the lead. Basically, he's like a theater director. He's struggling with his work, his lady in his life, his wife, and basically he tries to create this new work where inside a warehouse he tries to recreate the city of New York, and basically everyone living inside it, he recreates these characters as like actors. So actors come in and they play these real life people, and it's just in this gigantic warehouse. Sets are being built, replicating
Sounds so random.
replicating buildings of New York,
What?
and
Wow.
it is just mind-boggling. Like, it is just an unreal experience. Like, I can't explain it, the feeling. You just have to watch it and feel it yourself, because there's just so many layers to it. It's an unreal film. But yeah, just the size, so many personal things. It's like bizarre. It's weird. There's funny moments. It's actually extremely saddening as well. Yeah,
Seems to be a
it's
theme
an
with these
absolute
movies.
ride. It's an
Mm.
absolute ride, that's for sure.
So is there like again that sort of idea of like loneliness and sort of
Oh,
depression
100%.
coming through? Seems
to be
100%.
like a
theme.
lot
It is
of
extremely
different
dark.
things.
Yeah.
It's very heavy. So
Okay.
and you have to be like really focused and into it just to. Yeah, it's definitely like a life journey, that's for sure. But yeah,
Wow.
it's a really interesting concept, because there's this real life that's outside this warehouse, and inside there's all these actors playing as real life people that you meet earlier on. Like, even the director himself, the Philip Seymour Hoffman character, he's got an actor playing himself. So he's the director directing
wow.
himself as a real person.
Oh man,
And
this
his
Sounds
wife.
like a trip.
acid session.
And his wife and
Sounds
his
so
Full
assistant.
psychedelic sesh.
And like, it's, yeah.
That sounds mind blowing.
There's
sounds
so many
insane.
layers, and it's a must watch.
Must watch. There you go.
Must
On the
watch.
list.
On the list.
Yeah, we've got to get through those Charlie Kaufman movies, I think. after watching-
Adaptation as well. Nicolas Cage. Watch that too. Charlie
Nick
Kaufman.
Cage.
Is that Charlie
Nick Cage.
Kaufman
Nick
as well?
Cage. Well, surely it would have been
There you
90s or
go.
early
This one's
2000s.
a bit older,
'cause
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Charlie Kaufman.
You're probably right.
Oh, you're probably right. I don't know.
Well,
I
we're
don't
just
really
saying
know
I mean,
that.
Nicolas
I don't
Cage making
know.
a good movie sounds like such a full, pipe dream.
Was there one he made like recently? Did I watch that at
Mandy.
the film festival?
Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy.
Oh no, it's not. Don't worry.
Was that also good though? Adaptation.
He wrote it.
He wrote
He
it.
didn't
Right.
direct. Sorry, my
There you
mistake.
go.
Hey, same.
Same
Hey,
thing.
same thing.
This that, you know?
This that.
What do you mean? You've seen? Oh no, don't worry.
Don't tell me what I've seen and what I haven't seen.
Sorry.
Dictator. Oh my god. Hey, I'm not a dictator. Relax.
So much tension on that
Relax, Smithy.
couch.
Stop.
All right, so guys.
Well, we
All right. Huh?
We're here.
We're here. We're at the
Number one.
we're at the
moment.
number one, guys. This is the moment
It's crazy.
all the listeners have been waiting for. We've had many recommendations so far. All these films are must watches, but now we're at the number one of what we watched last
Wait a
year.
sec. I think mine's been said, but doesn't matter.
You know what?
you know
who
what? It's not
cares?
about you.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
my
It's
turn,
not-
It's
Anthony.
about, I'm just saying, like, yeah, just for everyone to know it's been said. I think it's okay though.
It's okay.
Sorry, Lee.
So my number one is drumroll. Best of Youth, which was in your list, but 10-4. Yeah. So Best of Youth was my favorite lockdown film
Wow.
in 2020. Now it's not a very. I don't think people know it.
I
very
haven't
well.
seen
Have you heard of it?
it. I have not heard of it.
Okay. Best of Youth is an Italian film.
Okay.
And it's a 6-hour film. Yes. So it is a journey.
I think you mentioned this
Journey.
before,
I
actually.
Yeah,
haven't
Anthony and
mentioned it
I
to
have
you.
watched this obviously together.
Yeah.
I
really
didn't
cute.
watch it in one
It is
sitting
cute.
because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I watched it over we watched it over a week, didn't we?
Yeah.
After work, and we could. So yeah, what I love about this movie is just simply put, it's about life and family and friendship and just the journey that you go through with them and the journey you go through life. It's kind of like, I don't know if you watch Boyhood.
Yeah.
It's a long movie as well, but I love those kind of films. They're not much about anything, but they're so grounded in reality and much about just the journey of life. And that's what I love about this film. The characters are relatable. They just go through stuff, whether it's happy moments, sad moments, confusing moments, just all these different emotions that come with it. And yeah, it's just such for someone to make a 6-hour film is quite bizarre, and it wasn't very recent. I'm not sure exactly when it was. Do you know?
It's 2003. I just checked it.
Oh, 2003. Okay. So yeah, it's just such an interesting film, and I don't know, I just love those movies just about life and doing stuff that everyone usually does.
Everyone does, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And, yeah. No,
I
continue.
know, I just love the rawness of it.
Mm.
And I'm a sucker for those kinds of films when I just feel connected with the characters and it just feels grounded in reality and you can just connect and feel their emotions. And yeah.
Look, because we're living, I guess, we're all just living life. We're all in it. So it's interesting to view things as an outsider and just watching life as an outsider and just seeing the everyday things that
That's a
happen
good point, actually.
moment by moment. So yeah, I feel like that's why I don't know, maybe I think we all like those type of films, like Boyhood, as you said.
Yeah.
We all love them. It's just
Yeah.
a really interesting and unique thing, I guess. You
Yeah,
don't really
because-
see many films that are just about everyday things. People might think it's boring, but it's actually a really unique.
Yeah. A lot of people would
experience.
find this boring, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that happens in it.
A lot.
And it's I love the history that's told throughout the 6 hours
Yeah.
of Italy and
Yeah,
the important moments that happen
correct.
throughout.
Political things.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
political
Yeah.
things, because it's set back in time. It's not
Yeah.
2000s or anything. And I didn't know much about Italian history, so I thought that was pretty cool as well. And how those big moments impact their lives, how much of an impact it can have.
Generational impact sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also how I think you made me think of the way we consume media again, back to episode 1, where we consume media in a way that is not based off entertainment.
Mm.
We consume media as a way to inform or something. Whereas I think a lot of people who don't maybe take watching movies as seriously as perhaps we do, they might consume that in a way where it isn't anything happening.
Yeah.
Because that ain't...
Which
that
is
people
fair enough.
and that's 100%.
Someone might not want to watch a movie about life. They just want to escape that. You know what I mean?
It's
Just
escapism
watch.
comes into play again. People watch things or consume art forms for escapism as opposed to learning.
Which is
Because it can be
something that-
confronting.
Which is something that we do as well, though.
We do, 100%.
I love watching.
We love it as if you don't love a bit of escapism sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fun.
so good.
But no, what an excellent pick.
Thank
What
you.
an incredible movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
Loved it so much too.
I mean, I don't know when I'll watch it again because it's 6 hours long,
Mm.
but I'll definitely will very soon in the near future.
Such an art ho. Puts a 6-hour movie
What an art
as a
hoe.
top movie.
I
What an
know,
art
it's
ho.
pretty,
eh?
Typical art
it's
hoe.
pretty
What an
bad,
art
isn't
ho.
it?
Unbelievable.
But you know what? I didn't care because I'm the goat.
You do you. That's
You
all
do you,
right.
boo.
You do
All
you.
right. Anthony, we're
Anthony.
up. So my number 1 was Baby Teeth. Now,
Oh,
Wow.
love Baby
Okay.
Teeth.
Okay.
Now, okay. The performances, first of all, Eliza Scanlon and Toby Wallace were incredible. Toby Wallace, for me, that kid's got a future and a half on him. And it's great to see Aussie kids doing it,
How
just
good are
doing
Aussie
it.
films?
I love Aussie
So
movies,
underrated.
man. The rawness. We resonate to the banter as well.
Yeah.
It's such a piss take at times. It's just I don't think many cultures could get it as much as we get it. And I know it's been universally acclaimed by a lot of, film critics and stuff all around the world. But as an Aussie, watching an Aussie film that is so good, it makes you happy. There's a sense of happiness you feel. It's like when an Aussie
pride,
does
yeah.
well.
You're so
Yeah, it's a
proud
pride.
of a film.
It's like when you're watching an Aussie in some sort of sports at the Olympics, you always go for him. You're
Yeah.
always pulling for the Aussie. And I'm always pulling for Australian film to become more and more popular because there's so much beauty in it, and there's so many good ones that I think
Yeah.
get swept under the rug a little bit. But anyway, you know, we all love a cancer story. If you guys ever seen movies about cancer, they're obviously gut wrenching, but I think it's more than that as well. It's a movie about a nice young relationship and, you know, family values and parents and grief. I like movies that deal with grief because I think grief is an interesting thing in the way people process grief, and sometimes people label people as not processing grief the right way. And I think that's such an expectation to process grief in a specific way. And I think this film explores grief very interestingly. And the set, the characters, the story, you know, the lead, I thought she was awesome. Eliza Scanlon. She's in I think she's in like this pretty much big blockbuster TV show, right? I'm not entirely sure, but she's in some sort of American TV show. So, and it's just, like I said, nice to see the Aussies get a bit of a platform and for the film to get critical acclaim. Made me really happy. Loved it so much.
Great choice.
Thank
Good
you.
one. I really liked it as well.
I did. Yeah,
good
me
movie.
too.
I think I really liked the point of view of the parents as well. Like the focus on their part, like kind of, you know, it's their daughter who's going through
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
What are they going to allow her to do before she dies?
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like parenting.
Because, like,
yeah,
they're going to die. Are you going to allow them to do whatever they want? You know, you're going to allow them to take drugs, have sex for the first time, or, you know, all these things that they might have done in their life, but, you know. I don't know,
Challenging
it's
situation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine being in their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of become empathetic towards the characters, which is
and
what
the
I like
characters
about the
do
film.
argue a lot, yeah, in a way, because it's true. It comes back down to parenting and what's
Yeah.
right and wrong.
Mm.
But someone's dying, or you know,
Yeah,
someone's
exactly.
got cancer. What are you gonna
But
let
it's
them?
interesting because, like, at the end of the day, we're all going to die. So, you know,
Is there a time frame
Is
when you
there-
should do
yeah.
things? Yeah.
just because they're going to die quicker, should you not allow them? If they were to die later, like just, you know, out of nowhere, would you not allow them to do those things? Like, it's such an interesting question, I think.
It definitely is. It's a good point.
Mm.
Reiterated what I was trying to say. Nice.
Can I just
Guys,
add
Smart
to
guy.
it?
No,
I
it's
think.
nice.
You
No,
guys are
but
really
no,
cute.
100%.
It's just sort of like finishing
But
each
it
other's
definitely, yeah. I mean, when
That's
you've been
good.
doing this for 28 years and 30 years, it works like that, Tim.
It's like clockwork.
Clockwork
It is.
Orange.
Ooh, good film.
We gotta have a Kubrick session one day, too.
All right,
anyway.
here we go.
Okay, my number one is a 2016 release, The Handmaiden.
Ooh.
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 Wow.
Are you
Korean
both
cinema.
seen- you both
Korean
seen
cinema.
that?
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yes.
Yes.
We have.
Okay, good. We can all chime in. Yes. So Korean film. Set another period piece. In my notes, set in 1930s.
Ooh. I think that was 30s. That's cool.
Yeah,
There you go.
1930s. So yeah, Korea, Japanese ruling though. So yeah, interesting setting there. But the story is basically this young sort of like pickpocketer. She's like trying to overrule this like this Japanese like heiress, I guess. She's like this, you know, high-powered lady living in this magical, you know,
Yeah.
Kingdom.
kingdom.
The house
palace,
is amazing.
The
Yeah,
house,
palace,
the
so nice.
mansion, maids, this and that. Gets what she wants, you know, that sort of vibe. And yeah, this film is very. It's like a thriller, psychological, I guess. A lot of, you know, it's like a con with like a counter con, sort of like this back and forth. They're trying to con each other, I guess, trying to win this power. And she's just come out of nowhere. She's a pickpocketer and she's just trying to take her ruling, I guess. And it's just this journey as we follow her, you know, through this bizarre journey as she makes her way up, trying to overrule. And yeah, as I said, con against counter con. So there's a lot of back and forth. They're all trying to, I guess, get they're trying to go behind each other's backs. They're planning all these plots against each other. It's really interesting. It's just non-stop. But the thing is that you have to be really focused because as soon as there's a moment that you miss or a detail, it could just change the way you see things. So you have to be really on top of this film just to get everything out of it. But yeah, really, really thrilling. Really
Definitely.
thrilling film. And that's what I guess stood out for me. That I was just sort of on the edge of the seat the whole time. seeing where this could go, because there was so many spanners thrown in the works. You didn't really know where it was going to go, to be
You
honest.
don't.
You're always just there thinking, what's going on next.
Mhm.
You think it's going to go one way, it just turns the opposite direction, and I feel like that's what makes it stand out. But again, another period piece. I think this.
Yeah, it's
I
quite a
think
few.
this director is known for his interesting camera angles and movements and things like that. But because it's period piece, he kept it really stock standard, and it was all just in the set design, the costume design, just the visuals alone were just wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, very standard camera movements and things like that. But yeah, just the storyline itself is just unreal.
Yeah.
That's why it
I
was
did like
number
it.
one for me. That's
Yeah,
for
really
sure.
interesting. And Korean cinema is just so bonkers.
It really is.
Like,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's just wild.
It's like
such a
balls to the
wild.
wall, really.
What's that?
Balls to the wall.
It really is just whatever. Like
It's
twists,
unfiltered.
turns,
Yeah, it's so good.
insane. But yeah, I thought the lead. I don't know her name. She's awesome.
What's her name?
I've seen her around in a few other Korean films. But yeah, very interesting story. And like you said, that power play. Felt a movie about power and
Yeah.
how people of class, when someone new comes in and they just sort of take their
Yeah.
power, how they become so petty.
Mm.
So it's an interesting sort of class battle as well, which
Mm.
is what I guess Parasite is about as well,
Yeah.
in a way. So maybe Korean cinema seems to be a
It's like a thing.
thing about class, maybe
Yeah.
perhaps, because I know there is some interesting sort of cultural standards there in terms of the way people look and the way people do things. I think they have like some sort of really high, plastic surgery frequency numbers in terms of the way people alter the way they look and the way they have to look in a certain way to be, I guess, culturally appropriate. And I think that's a real big theme in Korea.
And especially in this film as well, there's a big thing about identity as well. There's so many identity changes and shifts that they're trying to be different people just so they can be viewed differently.
Correct.
And yeah,
That
that
probably plays
mirrors
into it
what
as well.
you said. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's been a humongous thing. That's huge in their culture.
Yeah.
And you see that so much.
Mm.
But yeah, what a cool film.
No, it was really good.
Yeah.
Great pick.
And I think, as you said, there's quite a few twists in the film,
So many.
but I think they work really well. Like,
Yeah.
they're not just like randomly put. You know what I mean? They make sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's one near the end which kind of throws you. You're like, oh my gosh, what?
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
That was a big one. Yeah, it was like,
Yeah,
ooh.
it's like, oh my gosh.
Mm.
But it was really good. I really liked.
There's an
Handmaiden.
interesting erotic.
Yeah.
Yes, there's like a theme about
Again,
like,
yeah.
how do you say it? Eroticism? No,
Eroticism.
eroticism.
Mm.
Eroticism.
Mm.
Because at the start, like they kind of show flashbacks
Mm.
Yeah.
of like this older guy and the younger girl, and like weird stuff that goes down.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
From
There's
what I remember,
what a
anyway.
list.
Yeah.
What a
Amazing.
list.
Wow. So that comes
Baby Teeth,
to,
Handmaiden, Best of You.
Best of you.
So many different movies.
let's just go through our top 10 just to reiterate for the listeners at home for all the recommendations. Louis, top 10.
All right, my
Start
list
from
is like
10.
all over the place on this.
That's
but
all right.
I'll try and remember.
So number 10.
So, Control.
Yep.
The Rider.
Yep.
Is 9. 8. Another Round. 7 was Waves. 6 was Baby Teeth. 5 was Lighthouse, and then Solaris was 4.
Yep. Top 3.
Mirror.
Yep.
Thinking of Ending Things. Best of Youth.
Love that. T.
Tony, Last Black Man in San Francisco, 10. Number 9, Heathers. Number 8, Art of Self-Defense. Number 7, Lighthouse. Number 6, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Number 5, The Mirror. Number 4, Best of Youth. Number 3, Solaris. Number 2, Waves. And number 1, Baby Teeth.
And for me, I've got number 10, Sing Street. Number 9, Cold War. Number 8, being John Malkovich. Number 7, Columbus. Number 6, Place Beyond the Pines. 5, Into the Wild. 4, When Harry Met Sally. 3, The Master. 2, Synecdoche, New York. And 1, The Handmaiden.
Wow. Wait, we all had foreign films as our three tops. Italian, Australian, Korean. Whoa.
Oh, wow. There you
Just
go.
to show about the way we
So
consume,
cultured.
the way we think about Australian American movies are. American movies, pull your socks up. No, I'm joking. We had a lot of American
I'll just
movies.
point out what's really interesting is that you obviously watch a lot of films like together, but you had such different lists.
Yeah, that is
So
very
that is
interesting.
interesting.
I'm actually
thing, though.
surprised that happened.
Really?
Yeah, in a way.
Hmm.
Because we usually have similar tastes, but that's good. Because I never really do like lists, too.
So what really
So-
that shows is that we don't get along as well as we thought we
Nah, I
did.
don't really like
Yeah,
each
so
other,
you
to be
guys
honest with
hate
you.
each other.
I'm
Gotta
actually
go.
being,
So what we
I'm
might do
actually
after
being
this-
paid by Anthony to do this.
Yeah, what we might do after this, we might
Does
like
anyone
have a
do
sit
it?
down, you and I, Louie, and just sort of air the grievances out. because
You need to sort this out, guys. It's getting
Yeah.
out of
Do
control.
you reckon verbally or just like physically?
oh, we could fight and stuff. We could square off if you like, but you know, we don't want to promote
It'd be
physical
pretty
violence. on
entertaining
this.
for the camera.
Yeah,
as
it could be
well.
entertaining for the
Yeah,
camera.
I reckon we'll add it in as a feature
As
afterwards.
a feature, yeah, twists and turns in
Post
the
credits.
Post credit.
We'll put it in the background of the credits. What do you
Just a
reckon?
fight, Louie and me
Just-
fighting.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, guys, that comes to the end of the pod. Episode 3, done and dusted. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate that very much. And as always, we'll be uploading to Apple Podcasts, Spotify for audio, and as well as YouTube. We are filming this, so if you want to see 3 gorgeous young men,
Young roosters.
young roosters, beautiful boys, absolute studs. Jump on the YouTube, and we'll be up there too. For all the films that we have spoken about today, we will be uploading the lists to the website. There's an Our Lists tab, which will include all the films and things that we discuss or talk about, and you'll find our lists and maybe
That's
links as
correct.
to where to watch or whatever else.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
yeah,
Thanks for
we-
having us in your house, Louie. And for
Anytime.
being a recurring guest. I think that'll be a very constant thing throughout the year when we have these episodes. Maybe perhaps we talk about movies just openly.
Yeah.
And no, thanks for coming on, and thank you, Tim.
No worries. Thank you for
being
having
here
me.
and
Thank
for
you very
us
much.
having this beautiful conversation, and for the people watching at home. If you are watching at home, or if you're listening on the way to work or wherever you are, thanks for your time and your energy. And I think we're out. So
We'll see you guys in the next one.
thank you.
Thank you.